Unfortunately, I think the Me Too movement has turned, believe all women into distrust all men. If you guys haven't heard, Russell Brand is now being accused of rape and sexual misconduct, and people are pointing out that this is going on all the while he's been exposing Big Pharma, the government, all these other things, and now all of a sudden, these rape accusations are coming out. And there's one video in particular that's been going viral in regard to these allegations. Take a look.
There's a couple of things that I want to say about this Russell Brand In Plain Sight Channel 4 Dispatches documentary. The first is, if you don't think that Russell Brand has been waiting for this day to arrive since Me Too started, you are beyond help, my friend. Of course he's known since Me Too started that there are women out there who have stuff on him, and that it's only a matter of time before they come forward and expose him for what he is. Over the last few years, to cultivate a following of people who distrust the media, who think that the media are out to get Russell Brand, and that they'll do anything that they can to do that. That's the only way that he avoids being cancelled. That's the only way that this guy with the God complex stays relevant. These women have come forward with their evidence, and they've kept their identities hidden. And it's really easy to presume that the reason that they've kept their identities hidden is because they're afraid of Russell Brand. Alice, who started a relationship with Brand when she was 16 and can see that now for what it was, grooming, is working in television. She revealed her identity. The public would 100% say that she was looking for attention. The evidence stands on its own, and nobody can accuse them of just wanting fame, notoriety, attention, money. They have nothing to gain.
A lot to unpack here, but let's start with a couple things. She claims that Russell Brand, has everything to lose and nothing to gain, or everything to gain. And conversely, these women have nothing to gain either. And that's just false, right? Even if they were telling the truth, they have that to gain. Getting the truth out there, getting justice, putting down a rapist and this horrible person in jail. That is something to gain, and that's something that should be gained if somebody's doing this. Now, I'm not claiming that Russell Brand did or didn't do these things, but I think since Me Too has started, we have found out the hard way that we cannot believe all women just from the outset without evidence. And unfortunately, I think the Me Too movement has turned, believe all women into distrust all men. And it's really put women on the back foot now. People are starting to disbelieve them from the outset because so many women in the past have come out with accusations that were void of evidence, or that really were not cases to begin with. Russell Brand has been very open in the past about being a player, about kind of being a man whore himself. And he's talked about that extensively. So is there a chance that, he has been with many women and that he slept around? Obviously, that he's been open about that. This woman is claiming that he has been setting this up for the last 10 years, right? That he was on Occupy Wall Street because he knew that in 15 years or 10 years, whatever it is, women were going to come out with accusations, and he needed to build this following for the sole purpose of him not getting canceled. To me, I find that ridiculous. The other claim that she made or talked about is that these women are staying anonymous so that their evidence can stand on its own. That never works, and I think that is absolutely ridiculous. If you're going to come out against somebody, you should be able to go out in public, to tell people your name, to tell the story, and to fight for justice, right? To fight for the truth. I think hiding behind anonymity is not going to help your case. We haven't seen that help cases in the past. And if this is really true, then come out and say it. And if it is, then you will have my support, and I think you'll have everybody's support. I think standing behind anonymity is the one thing that really will hurt your case. With all this coming out, people are pointing to the fact that Russell Brand might be getting close to something, that it's right when he's telling the truth that these accusations come out.
I've brought some facts. The pandemic created at least 40 new big pharma billionaires. Pharmaceutical corporations like Moderna and Pfizer made $1,000 of profit every second from the COVID-19 vaccine. More than two-thirds of Congress received campaign funding from pharmaceutical companies in the 2020 election. Pfizer chairman Albert Bourla told Time magazine in July 2020 that his company was developing a COVID vaccine for the good of humanity, not for money. And of course, Pfizer made $100 billion in profit in 2022. And may I just mention that finally, and this is also a fact, that you, the American public, funded the development of that. The German public funded the BioNTech vaccine. When it came to the profits, they took the profits. When it came to the funding, you paid for the funding. It's difficult not to...
But I will just add one thing. It is possible that these are greedy capitalists who
Bill?
made a lot of money.
All I'm querying is this.
Yes.
Is if you have an
right.
economic system in which pharmaceutical companies benefit hugely from medical emergencies, where a military-industrial complex benefits from war, where energy companies benefit from energy crises, you are going to generate
right.
states of perpetual crisis,
Yes.
where the interests of ordinary people
Well, yes,
separate from the interests of the elite.
and cottage industries.
And Bill,
Once you create an industry like checking you, I still get checked to see if I have COVID because it's a cottage industry. People started making money by sending a nurse to my house, and now no one wants to give up that gravy train.
Powerful stuff. So after seeing that, after seeing the fire within him, what do you guys think is more likely? That he planned this, 10, 15 years ago, and he's been building up this audience. He's been talking about these things. He's been, fighting for truth for the last 15 years for the sole purpose of helping him discredit accusations when they came out 15 years later? Or did these accusations come out right as he has been saying stuff like this, going after Big Pharma, the government, and really being a truth seeker? Which one seems more plausible to you guys?